Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we did it, baby!
Pizza time.
The devs have responded in a huge way. So I'm really happy to see this. I just want to take a minute, take a few seconds here and thank everyone that participated, whether you participated by, not spending, or you participated by, posting your opinions and your thoughts online, and you created a sort of a conversation. Obviously, they were paying attention. Obviously, they were listening, and it wasn't anything I did. It wasn't any one thing that any one person did. It was a collective gathering of players in a peaceful way. It was a collective gathering of players voicing their opinions without being rude, without throwing out insults and things like that, but saying, seriously, listen, guys, we're playing this game. We love this game. We want this game to be as good as it can be. This is one of the best mobile games out there, period. And it might be the best Marvel mobile game as well. It's a beautiful game. It's got so many characters. There's been so much love put into this game. We just want it to be the best possible game. We're not trying to kill this game. We're not trying to destroy the game. We're trying to build the game up, but this is not the right way. We're using the wrong Lego pieces here, guys. So, update developer response. This happened quick. So this has the timestamp of 7:50 Wednesday. This was before my first video came out. This was an hour before my 9 a.m. video came out. This was just a couple of hours after my stream ended at 4:30 a.m. So this is just 3 hours later. So the turnaround time on this is insane. I don't think I've ever seen them react this quickly to something like this. I've seen them react this quickly to bugs, especially if there's a sale in the store that's wrong. Oh, they fix that. They fix those sales quick times. But I've never seen them respond this quickly to feedback of ours. So this is a really good sign, especially, like we've said before, for a game that's going into its 5-year anniversary. They still care a lot about what we have to say when we say it in the right way, and when we band together and all say it loudly enough they can hear us. So greetings, agents. First of all, we'd like to thank you for sharing your varied opinions after the February update. Like I said, some of you guys like the challenge. Some of you guys like the World Boss Striker change. I'm not necessarily saying that I do, but I appreciate that everyone has a different take on this. I know some of you guys in the comments on YouTube were saying that you weren't worried about the 10-second striker change, or you weren't worried about this one or that one, because even if your scores will drop, even if your times will drop for how fast you're clearing the world boss, you take it as a challenge. Other players were frustrated because their progress was not only halted but reversed, and they felt like they had climbed all the way up a hill only to fall all the way back down. Now, everyone deals with these kinds of challenges differently, so there isn't one set way of, seeing it. Some people fall back down and get frustrated. Some people fall back down and they enjoy that up and downwards motion. Giggity. But, yeah, it's good that we had a variety of opinions. That's always good. We would like to explain our intentions behind the World Boss co-op character's cooldown time increase. Okay, so they're trying to explain why they wanted to change the striker. Now, when they refer to the strikers, they're referring to it as co-op character cooldown. So I'm just going to read this as World Boss striker time, but this is what they write. And the tolerance ability to combat mind control. So they're basically trying to nerf mind control's effectiveness so that the World Boss is not constantly standing there doing nothing. So they acknowledge that in the November update, the change was made for the strikers to only use one useful skill, because they were trying to improve the game complexity. Now, again, this would have been really nice, that if the devs should know this would have been really nice for them to tell us in November, but they failed to do that. So I think this is really a part of the problem. If we had known this, then maybe we could have expected some bigger challenge coming soon, but we just thought it was a bug that happened to, having an explanation for changes goes a long way. However, due to the unintendedly lower difficulty, we concluded the fun factor of World Boss had been reduced and required rebalancing. So that is something that, some people would agree that the fun factor was reduced and required rebalancing. Now, for example, because I have a high level account, because I have a very high raid level, because I've been playing for a long time, I can access very, very high levels of World Boss. And so maybe for me, the fun factor didn't decrease because I'm not stuck at 50 or 60. I have all the characters unlocked in the game. I can spend money to unlock new characters. So none of the, clear 5 times with this character or that character, none of those challenges slow me down. I can spend crystals to skip the 100-second clear challenges and the 150-second clear challenges if they are impossible. And I can boost my way all the way up, and I did boost my way, and I got to 99. So maybe the fun factor for me didn't decrease very much because I'm able to do that, but maybe the fun factor did decrease for a lot of players who can't do that, who can't spend crystals to unlock Oh, and they can't spend money to unlock characters like Emma Frost, Quasar, those Hyperion for Corvus, those characters that sort of block and stall your way climbing up the ladder of World Boss. To minimize the change in the supply and demand of materials due to the difficulty adjustment, we increased the supply of Cosmic Fuse fragments. So again, if we had known this would have been maybe an easier pill to swallow. If you had said, listen, hey guys, we're gonna make World Boss simpler. We're gonna reduce the RNG of World Boss. It's all about the optics, right? We're gonna reduce the RNG of World Boss in November. And then in January, we're going to increase the amount of Cosmic Cube fragments you get. But in February, we're going to make World Boss harder. So you are going to drop to a lower level. But don't worry, we're going to give you more Cosmic Cube fragments to balance out the lower stages that you're clearing. Instead of 50, you go down to 30 or whatever. And we're also going to make the gameplay less RNG because the strikers will always do a specific skill. I think players could have come around to that personally if it had been done in that way instead of the way that it was done. After investigating the cause of the difficulty decline, we discovered World Boss movement was excessively limited, so that's about the mind control stuff. So they wanted to reduce the frequency of the striker appearance, and they wanted to reduce mind control. So again, these are not bad ideas, but I also think the problem is that they implemented two negative things at the same time, right? So they didn't increase the Cosmic Cube fragments, and they didn't reduce the RNG in the same update. So they are careful to not introduce too many positive benefits in one update. So they go one at a time. So they should have that same attitude for negative adjustments or sort of nerfs. They should not introduce more than one major nerf per update. And I think both of these nerfs were major nerfs. I think we could have done with just the frequency of the striker appearance. If they had just changed that to 10 seconds, yeah, it would kind of suck. Yeah, it would kind of make some characters worse, like Captain America, but we could live with it. We still have the mind control, we still have the things, or if they kept the strikers the way they were and they did something else with the mind control. It doesn't necessarily have to be what they did, but just something else. However, after the update was released, we discovered an error where the tolerance ability was not applied only to mind control, but other effects such as defense reduction. So yeah, we covered that in we actually speculated that was happening in the APK, but it was also happening in the live server. We wanted to solve this issue through a patch, but upon further deliberation, we have decided to remove the tolerance ability and revert the striker cooldown to its previous duration. So what this means is that the strikers they should already be back if you've downloaded the 9 megabyte patch. The strikers are back to their original 3-second duration, and mind control works exactly the same way that it used to work before. So basically, they snapped their fingers and they went back to the way things were when, basically before this update, back in January. Since the World Boss fun factor has been diminished due to these balancing issues, we will continue searching for a solution that our agents will be satisfied with. So what this means is that they are going to make changes in the future to World Boss, just not these specific changes. They want to make World Boss harder again, and they will, but they're not quite sure if this is the way to do it, and so they're reverting it for now. In addition, we have prepared to readjust the maximum scores and rewards in Extreme Alliance Battle, as many agents have requested. So they posted this server patch in the details. So they are reverting the balance changes to World Boss. They are increasing the Alliance Battle Extreme rewards for the first 100,000 points. So they've given 2 6-star ISOs instead of 1. They've given double the amount of gold. They basically doubled all the rewards. Now this is good for 100,000 points. But as you all know, that's not where Alliance Battle Extreme stops. They've also increased the rewards for having a rank in an alliance. So the top ranked ABX alliance, instead of every member getting these rewards every week, they will now get these rewards. So this is a little bit more of a substantial increase. I don't think enough players are talking about this, but basically if you are in the #1 ranked alliance, every single member, every single week, is going to be getting almost as many biometrics as you get from Shadowland. So it's almost double the biometrics weekly. Plus you're getting 1.25 million gold, which is funny because that's almost as much as you get for Conquest. So yeah, I think these rewards are good. I think they need to do away with the level 5 XP chips and introduce other things as well. They need to update some of these rewards for 2020. But I do think that these rewards are not enough. So I'll talk about that in a minute. Additionally, they have changed the score cap for Alliance Battle Extreme from 10 million down to 7 million. So we still have the Frost Beast not being able to be interrupted. We still have the Frost Beast having increased defense, which is going to lower players' scores by a little bit. But instead of 10 million, it's now 7 million, which I think is possible for a couple of characters to hit 7 million. I think maybe just Luna Snow, but you know, there is some possibility there. And they have improved the rewards, which is great for players who go to 100,000. So for the general population, the general player base, this is a great change. However, they have still missed, and I don't mean to ruin the celebrations here, guys, record scratch, but they did miss the mark for players. So they were listening, you know, the readjusting the maximum scores and rewards in Alliance Battle as many agents have requested. Yeah, true. I have been saying, and players have been saying, to improve the maximum rewards, but not like this. I mean, not just like this. So I still think that the players need to get together, and we need to draft a letter to the devs. Obviously, the letter doesn't have to talk about the same things as before. We don't have to talk about the mind control and the striker cooldown because that has been changed. But I do think it's important for the players to show solidarity and to show unity by getting together and writing and drafting a letter that will outline maybe some suggestions that we have for World Boss and how it can be, how the difficulty for World Boss can be improved, how the difficulty can be sort of the challenge can be introduced again to World Boss, so it's not just a cheese fest of mind control without destroying the value of those mind control characters, right? We want to have one, but we also want to have the other thing as well. We need to strike a balance, and I think more importantly, the players need to draft up some suggestions for Alliance Battle Extreme. I think there need to be rewards past 100,000. I understand that the devs don't want to upset lower spending players, new players, free-to-play players who cannot hit 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, but you need to have some kind of compensation for high-level players, and this compensation is not enough. Because yes, you can say, you know, hey, if you're pushing for the top 10 alliances, now you're going to get an extra 300,000 gold per week and an extra 70 XP chips. Sorry, that's not good enough. For the amount of real money and crystals that we throw at ABX every update or every other update or whatever, this is not good enough. So either you need to change the rank rewards, or you need to add more rewards to the daily amount for ABX. You need to add, you know, a reward at 1 million, at 2 million, at 3 million. You need to give players a reason to push higher. And this has a really big positive benefit for the game because more players will play Alliance Battle Extreme, and then more players will be introduced to the game mode, more players will end up liking it, and then more players will inevitably end up spending. Even if only 1% of players that weren't playing ABX past 100K start spending, that's a lot of players, right? Because everyone's going to want those rewards at 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, so they're going to push. Some people are going to push and stop when they run out of resources on their account, but some people are going to push and be like, you know what, I'm having fun, I'm going to throw some money at this game, I want to push and see how high I can go. And so it's a win-win. The players get what they want, they feel validated, and they feel that they're being rewarded for their investment and for their skill cap by hitting 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, and then the devs make money. How is this, like, you know, it seems like it makes a ton of sense. So I'm actually really happy personally for the extremely fast turnaround and the extremely you know, generous response by the devs. I still think we have work to do. I don't think that we should just ignore World Boss and let it become too easy, because it is one of the most, you know, it should be one of the most challenging game modes in Marvel Future Fight. It has the best rewards. But we as a community need to come together and find out and come to a conclusion and help the devs find out a way to make World Boss actually challenging without ruining the value of characters. And then we also need to communicate with the devs on the rewards for Alliance Battle Extreme, and they need to be improved one more time so that high-level players feel rewarded, not just because they get into the tournament and not just because they get an extra 70 XP chips, but because they actually get some decent rewards. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for participating and watching the videos and commenting and going on Reddit and having your voices heard and social media and all that. It's all thanks to you and us as a collective that we were able to achieve this, so bravo. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.